If you are on Social Security or Medicare right now, you are likely overpaying on your monthly bills by thousands of dollars, completely legally. And no, the government is not going to send you a colorful brochure explaining how to get that money back. Right now, billions of dollars approved specifically for seniors are just sitting in federal databases. The bureaucracy relies entirely on your silence. If you don't sign your name on the dotted line, they simply keep your cash. Today, we are breaking down 5 specific bills you legally do not have to pay anymore. We aren't talking about modern coupon clipping tips or how to save 50 cents on a can of soup. I'm talking about systematic structural wealth extraction that is happening to your fixed income right now. Stick with me until number 5, because if you own a home, it's the single biggest property tax loophole your local county prays you never discover. If you want straight financial facts without the fluff, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's get your money back. Let's start with the immediate aggressive drain on your check, the Medicare Part B premium. Every single month, $202.90 is automatically deducted before your Social Security check even hits your bank account. It's the ultimate out of sight, out of mind tax. You look at the net deposit in your bank app, shrug, and assume that's just the mandatory cost of healthcare in America. Listen, it isn't. The federal government has a built-in safety valve called Medicare Savings Programs, or MSPs. They are funded at the federal level but administered locally through your state's Medicaid office. Their sole legal job is to step in and pay that $202.90 premium for you, pulling that money back out of the government's hands and putting it straight into your wallet. Let's look at the numbers, because these state programs are broken down into specific tiers, and you need to know exactly where your feet are planted. Tier 1 is QMB, Qualified Medicare Beneficiary. This is the holy grail of healthcare savings. If you qualify for QMB, the state doesn't just wipe out your Part B premium, they legally step in as your secondary payer, covering your deductibles, your co-payments, and your co-insurance. All those unpredictable out-of-pocket medical bills that keep you up at night? Gone. If you're single with a monthly income under roughly $1,350 or a married couple under $1,824, this money is legally yours. Now, look at the secondary tiers like SLMB and QI. What if you earn slightly more? The system doesn't just lock you out. If your income goes up to around $1,816 a month as a single filer, or roughly $2,465 for a married couple, these programs still step in and completely eliminate that monthly $202.90 charge. That is cold, hard cash put straight back into your gross check. But here's the massive structural catch that trips up millions of seniors: the asset test. In most states, the government doesn't just look at your monthly income check, they look at your liquid resources, like your savings accounts or stocks. The resource limits are around $9,430 for individuals and $14,130 for couples. But remember this, your primary home and your primary vehicle do not count toward this asset limit. They cannot force you to sell your house to clear this hurdle. The Social Security Administration will never cross-reference your IRS files and say, "Oh, look, Mary qualifies for QMB, let's stop charging her." No, they will keep taking that money forever until you actively slam the brakes. How to execute this right now? Call 1-800-MEDICARE or go directly to medicare.gov. Ask for the contact information of your specific state's Medicaid infrastructure and request the Medicare Savings Program application packet. It's a short, typically 2-page form that changes your baseline cash flow within 30 to 60 days. Bill number 2, prescription drugs. I talk to retirees every single week who tell me, "George, I have a solid Part D plan, so my medication is covered." Then I look at their monthly statements, and they are still paying $40, $80, sometimes over $100 a month for basic brand name maintenance drugs for blood pressure or cholesterol. In an environment with pharmacy benefit managers and corporate insurance monopolies squeezing consumers for every dime, you cannot afford to play defensive. There is an aggressive federal initiative called Extra Help, legally known in the Federal Register as the Low-Income Subsidy. If you qualify, your entire prescription framework is instantly rewritten. Your Part D monthly premium slashed to zero, your annual deductible completely waived, and the absolute maximum you will ever pay out of pocket for a covered medication is strictly limited to around $5.10 for generics and $12.65 for brand name drugs. Boom. That's the ceiling. Let's do some basic math. If you take 3 regular medications, moving from standard commercial copays down to the Extra Help statutory caps easily saves you $1,500 to $2,000 a year in pure discretionary income. That's grocery money, that's gas money. The income threshold for Extra Help is significantly higher than standard Medicaid, making it highly accessible for the true middle class. We are looking at an annual income cutoff of $23,940 for a single individual. That's practically $2,000 a month. For married couples, it jumps to $32,260. And here is a massive bureaucratic shortcut almost nobody utilizes: deemed eligibility. If you got approved for any of the Medicare savings programs we just discussed in step 1, you automatically trigger this mechanism. That means you are automatically enrolled in extra help. No second application, no extra paperwork, no waiting period. The federal and state databases are legally forced to talk to each other. If you don't qualify for step 1 but still fit under that threshold, apply independently through the Social Security Administration. Go to ssa.gov/medicare/part-d-extra-help or call them directly at 1-800-772-1213. Do not let the pharmacies cash in on your silence. Bill number 3 is your heating and cooling infrastructure. Energy costs have become incredibly volatile. We've watched home heating oil and natural gas climb nearly 9% over the past year alone, while electricity rates are up over 12% in major regional grid corridors. When you're dealing with a rigid fixed income, a spiking utility bill in July or January isn't just an inconvenience, it's a budgeting crisis that forces good people to choose between the pharmacy counter and the thermostat. To combat this, the federal government pumps billions into LIHEAP, the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. Let me clarify a major dangerous misconception here. This isn't a discount coupon. This isn't a 10% off if you pay on time voucher. LIHEAP sends a direct hard cash electronic credit straight to your utility provider, whether that's your electric company, gas company, or local heating oil supplier, and clears your balance on your behalf. Income thresholds are tied directly to state medians, but generally, if you are a single person bringing in around $22,000 or less annually, or a two-person household making under $30,000, you are firmly in the target zone. But here is what seniors specifically need to know to win this game: the age advantage. Because seniors are classified as a highly vulnerable demographic during extreme weather cycles, most states grant individuals age 60 and older priority enrollment access. This means your application window opens up to a full month before the general public can even apply. Why does that early window matter? Because LIHEAP is a finite federal block grant program. It operates strictly on a first-come, first-served basis. Once your state's multi-million-dollar budget bucket is empty, the door slams shut until the next fiscal cycle. If you wait until the winter freezes or summer heat waves hit their peak to apply, you are already too late. The funds are gone. Furthermore, there is a powerful sister program called WAP, the Weatherization Assistance Program. If approved, the government pays for professional licensed contractors to come to your property, seal drafts, upgrade attic insulation, and even completely repair or replace faulty HVAC systems entirely at zero cost to you. It's a permanent structural fix to lower your utility bills long term. To find your local intake office without browsing confusing state portals, just dial 211 from any phone. That is the National Social Services hotline. Tell the operator your exact zip code and say, "I need the nearest LIHEAP application center for senior citizens." Now, let's talk about a bill that catches the self-reliant middle-class retiree completely off guard. This is Bill number 4, and it involves a stealth tax known as IRMAA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. IRMAA is a heavy progressive surcharge levied directly on your Medicare Part B and Part D premiums. If your income sits above a certain threshold, starting at $109,000 for single filers and $218,000 for joint returns, the government decides you make too much money to get the standard subsidized healthcare rate. Instead of paying the standard premium, you suddenly find yourself billed anywhere from $284.10 to over $689.90 a month per person, pulled straight from your Social Security check before you can even touch it. You might think, "George, I'm a regular worker. I don't make six figures. Why should I care about this?" Here is why: the 2-year look-back trap. Medicare doesn't look at what you are earning today. They look at your IRS tax return from 2 years ago. Let's play out a scenario that happens to thousands of honest Americans every year. Let's say 2 years ago you finally decided to retire. To mark the occasion, you transitioned your traditional 401k to a Roth IRA, sold a piece of family rental property, or received a final corporate payout for unused vacation time. That one-time event temporarily spiked your adjusted gross income on paper for that single tax year. 2 years later, Medicare looks at that old tax return and triggers the IRMAA penalty. You look at your current check and realize you are being penalized hundreds of dollars a month based on money you no longer have from a job you no longer work at. Most people assume you can't fight Uncle Sam. They think the computer system is final, but it isn't. The Social Security Administration has an official statutory appeal mechanism designed exactly for this scenario. It is called Form SSA 44, officially titled the Life-Changing Event Form. The government legally recognizes 8 specific life-changing events, and work stoppage or retirement is right at the top of that list. The fix: you download Form SSA 44 from ssa.gov, check the box for work stoppage, provide a copy of your official retirement letter or your current lower tax documents, and submit it. When processed, they will retroactively strip the IRMAA surcharge away, dropping your premium back to the standard base rate and refunding you the difference. It's an immediate, massive win that saves you thousands over a 12-month period. We've reached bill number 5, and if you own your home, this is where the real life-changing numbers hide. Property taxes. Let me ask you a blunt, honest question. When was the last time your local county tax assessor sent you a polite letter explaining how you could legally pay them less money? It has never happened, and it never will. Their entire local budget, their salaries, and their infrastructure rely completely on your blind compliance. Yet, almost every single county across the United States has specific legislative protections baked into the tax code for senior citizens. They go by different names depending on your local jurisdiction: senior property tax exemptions, senior homestead freezes, or circuit breaker credits. Let's look at how incredibly powerful these mechanisms are. The homestead freeze. In many jurisdictions, once you reach age 65, you can file a freeze. This dictates that no matter how rapidly corporate gentrification or home prices surge in your specific neighborhood, the assessed taxable value of your home is locked in ice for as long as you live there. Your neighbor's taxes might double over the next decade, yours stay completely flat. Another one is senior exemptions. This mechanism flat out subtracts a specific dollar amount from your home's assessed value before they calculate the millage tax rate. For instance, if your home is assessed at $300,000, a senior exemption might legally reduce that calculation base to $250,000, instantly dropping your annual bill by hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But the systemic issue here is identical to healthcare. The county will never apply this automatically. They know exactly how old you are based on public deed records and your driver's license data, but they will happily continue to bill you at the maximum commercial rate until you stand up and demand the exemption. Your execution strategy. Do not look for this on federal or state websites. This is a county-level game. Open a search engine and type the exact name of your local county, followed by the words Senior Property Tax Exemption. Alternatively, look at your last paper property tax statement, find the customer service number for the county assessor's office, call them up directly, and say these exact words: I am a senior resident homeowner in this county. What are the specific filing deadlines and applications for the senior homestead exemption this year? It takes one phone call, one simple form, and those savings lock in year after year. For as long as you hold the deed to that home,